When biologists want to talk about life on a global scale, they use the term biosphere. The biosphere consists of all life on Earth and all the parts of the Earth in which life exists. Organisms in the biosphere interact with each other and with their surroundings. The story of these interactions is called ecology. Ecology is the scientific study of interactions among organisms and between organisms and their physical environment. Ecologists may study different levels of organization. From the broadest to the narrowest, they are the biosphere, or entire planet, biomes, which are a group of ecosystems that share similar climates and typical organisms, ecosystems, all the organisms that live in a place with their physical environment, or in other words, the abiotic factors. Community, which just include the biotic factors of a place, population, a group of individuals that belong to the same species, and finally we have individual organism. A species is a group of similar organisms that can breed and reproduce. Ecosystems, as we already said, include biotic and abiotic factors. A biotic factor is any living part of an environment. An abiotic factor is any non-living part of an environment. Ecologists use three basic methods of research: observation, experimentation, and modeling. Observation often leads to questions and hypotheses. Experiments can be used to test hypotheses. Modeling helps ecologists understand complex processes. At the core of every organism's interaction with the environment, it is need for energy to power life's process. Ants, for example, use energy to carry objects many times their size. Organisms need energy for growth, reproduction, and their own metabolic process. For most life on Earth, sunlight is the ultimate energy source. Organisms that can capture energy from sunlight or chemicals and use that energy to produce food are called autotrophs or primary producers. The process in which autotrophs capture light energy and use it to convert carbon dioxide and water into oxygen and sugars is called photosynthesis. The process in which autotrophs use chemical energy to produce carbohydrates is called chemiosynthesis. Organisms that rely on other organisms for their energy and food are called heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are also referred to as consumers. There are many different types of heterotrophs. Herbivores obtain energy by eating only plants. Carnivores eat only animals. Omnivores eat both plants and animals. Detritivores feed on dead matter. Decomposers break down organic matter. Scavengers consume the carcasses of other animals. In every ecosystem, primary producers and consumers are linked through feeding relationships. Despite the great variety of feeding relationships in different ecosystems, energy flows in similar ways. Energy flows through an ecosystem in one direction from primary producers to various consumers. A food chain is a series of steps in which organisms transfer energy by eating and being eaten. A food web is a network of all the food chains in an ecosystem. Food webs are very complex. Small disturbances to one population can affect all populations in a food web. Each step in a food chain or food web is called trophic level. Producers make up the first trophic level. Consumers make up higher trophic levels. Each consumer depends on the trophic level below it for energy. An ecological pyramid is a diagram that shows the relative amounts of energy or matter contained within each trophic level in a food chain or food web. Types of ecological pyramids are pyramids of energy, pyramids of biomass, and pyramids of numbers. Pyramids of energy shows relative amounts of energy available at different trophic levels. On average, about 10% of the energy available within each trophic level is transferred to the next traffic level. Pyramids of variance show the total amount of living tissue at each traffic level. And finally, a pyramid of numbers shows the relative number of organisms at different traffic levels.